So David, thank you for joining me today. Very excited to find out what's happening at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. I know you usually have an umbrella theme throughout the season that you like to do. What is your umbrella theme this season?
This theme is called Putting It Together, the Art of Making Art. And a few years ago when we did Gypsy, we decided Let Us Entertain You would be a really great theme for everything we do, so we try to stick with that idea. Our big summer show, running the entire month of July, is Stephen Sondheim's Sunday in the Park with George. It is an incredible show. It's so beautiful, and if you're not familiar with the subject matter of the show, it really is about the artist George Seurat, and it sort of fantasizes his creation of the famous painting that sits in the Art Institute in Chicago. So everyone will recognize the painting. Lyrics of one of the key songs have to do with putting it together, the art of making art, what it takes from an artist's perspective to do this sort of new pointillism that he was pioneering. In the art gallery, we will actually recreate the painting by inviting 150 local artists from the Cape who in a couple of weeks will get together, and they will each be given 1/150th of the painting cut out and mounted on a piece of foam core in a sealed envelope. They will also be given a 15 by 15 inch panel, and then they'll all go away, open the envelope, recreate in their own medium and with their own artistic input that little piece, and then they'll come back in June before we open the show, and we'll put it together piece by piece on the giant wall in the gallery, and then at the end of that 2 hours, like performance art, it all comes together.
Oh, I cannot wait.
It's really cool.
Have you seen this happen before?
We've done, this will be our third time.
Wow.
And we every other year we do this project, and what it does is it brings together so many local artists. And for people who haven't been to our gallery before, we have one really huge wall. I think it's about 30 feet wide, and also there's a 30-foot tall section. So we can create this massive installation that involves a whole lot of artists. And in addition to bringing the visual artists together through the theme of our big theater production, we also have an opportunity in our arts education program, which is very important. Many people don't know that we offer about 130 classes each year in visual, literary, and performing arts. And
those classes are for people on all different ability levels, right? So maybe even if you're a novice, you can find a class that would be fitting for you.
Absolutely. There are classes for artists of all interests and ages and abilities.
Wow, wonderful. What a great opportunity. And let's talk about what you have to offer, because I've seen a show too in your Little Black Theater. Tell us about that and what kind of shows you have there.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have a second small theater. We call it our black box, which literally in theatrical terms means a black box. And the idea there is that you don't have elaborate sets or production values, but you really intimately focus on the work. And there are 40 seats in that room, and we produce 12 shows a year in that room. So we've done over 60 shows, full theater productions of world premiere. There's a world premiere original work right now called Lines in the Sand by Jim Dalglish that we're presenting. We do edgy work that it might be pushing the artistic envelope a little too far to go into our main theater. Sometimes we tackle provocative subject matter in there, but it's a place to really explore intimate, what we like to call hardcore or real theater projects in there. We're so lucky to have it. And those shows generally sell out. We have a big appetite from our community for that work.
It's such an awesome facility. I think I saw a production about ALS. In that theater.
Yeah.
So what an awesome
last year
opportunity.
there was one scene where the daughter of the mother's character who had ALS starts speaking in an unintelligible language, which illustrates what how they were actually communicating. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yes, amazing. So this is a really great resource for people here in our community. You're also going to have some really big stars visiting this year. You're going to have some 3 Broadway superstars coming.
3 Broadway superstars. We have the incredible Chita Rivera is going to be on our stage.
So for those of us who may not be familiar with Broadway, can you tell me a little bit about Chita?
Well, so Chita Rivera came to, I believe, really came to prominence in her portrayal in Chicago. So Chita was in the original production of the original Broadway show, Chicago. She also won a Tony, I believe, for The Kiss of the Spider Woman. She's a multi-Tony Award-winning actress, really incredible. And a legend. She's an iconic legend of the stage. We are also going to be presenting Megan Hilty, who some people will know from the TV show Smash. She was the star in that and is also a big Broadway star. And then we're very excited to have Sutton Foster, who is also one of the biggest stars on Broadway, who recently finished a role in Thoroughly Modern Millie. So,
very exciting names.
It's exciting.
And now, you did tell me before we sat down for our official interview that some of these tickets can be a little pricier for these events. Yeah. But we will say it is a fundraiser for the Cotuit Center for the Arts. And also, you know, you feel when you're in there like you are in the living room with this person singing. What an amazing opportunity. Yeah,
last year we started a collaboration with Mark Cortali from Provincetown, who does the Broadway series there. And we brought Audra McDonald to the stage, and there's nothing like it, because the worst seat in the house is closer than you will ever be to one of these people on another stage. And you know, when you think about the fact that, you know, in our own community, right in Cotuit, where you don't have to pay to park, and you know, you can come in here. We had Art Garfunkel a year ago do a concert in our little stage. Judy Collins has been there, so we really try to maintain the important welcomingness of the community hub that we are, and then still offer these world-class artists from time to time. It really kind of, you know, raises the cachet.
And we didn't even talk about it. You're collaborating with the Cape Symphony May 6th and 7th. This is exciting. What are you working on with the Cape Symphony?
So on May 6th and 7th, for the closing concerts of the symphony season, the first half of the concert is a music and theater piece that I hadn't even been aware of. My background is in classical music, and I had never heard of this piece. When Jung Ho Pak and I met for the first time, he was telling me about this piece being on his bucket list. It's called Every Good Boy Deserves Favor, and the music was written by Andre Previn, and the play was written by Tom Stoppard. So one of the most iconic playwrights and one of the most iconic composers and conductors wrote this piece, which was really about freedom of expression, about punishment for dissidence and freedom of thought. It's a little timely, and there are 6 actors who work in and amongst the orchestra. One of the characters hears a full symphony orchestra in his head. So the orchestra is actually a character within one of the actors' heads. You can read all about it on both our websites, but it's a very, very exciting. It's rarely done because it's hard to get the worlds of a full symphony orchestra and theater company together.
And there you have it. You've collaborated with the symphony, and you're going to have it for individuals. Yeah. If anyone wants to learn more about some of these events that are happening, where can they go? What is your web address?
So our website is Arts on the Cape, ARTS, onthecape.org. You can find all the information about everything. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out where we don't over communicate. It's just, here's what's coming up the next 7 days. It's a good way to keep apprised.
Wonderful. Thank you for stopping by and telling us about everything happening at the Cotuit Center for the Arts. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
My guest today, Executive Director of the Cotuit Center for the Arts, David Kuehn.